the Niners are going back to the Super Bowl, and that is how I'm starting the show. It's going to be a rehashing, a rematch, a part deux of Chiefs Niners as far as I'm concerned after week 1. They look like they're in week 10 form. They look like they're in postseason form on both sides. As far as this game last night where we got to see Brandon Aiyuk back on the field, no Christian McCaffrey, and Aiyuk didn't have a big day. We'll get to that with our wide receivers on the show, Devontae Adams and CeeDee Lamb. The offense for the Niners went 2 for 5 in the red zone. None of it mattered. Trent left, he trotted off, he came back on. None of it mattered. Jordan Mason and the Niners dominated the Jets last night. The Jets, who I do believe are a contender. Aaron Rodgers looked great last night. We'll get to that. And it might not have been the most lopsided scoreboard, but I don't know if a team... I was bored at times in this game. I hate that. I could not have been itching for this game more, but they were in control on the Niners side so much that I forgot what Aaron looked like. His 40-year-old Achilles joints were just freezing up on the sidelines. Look what happened by the numbers. The moment the Jets scored to take that early lead, we get to see Rodgers for the first time. Niners outscore the Jets 29-6. Sure, they quadrupled their time of possession, the Niners. They outgained them 391 yards to 117, tripled them in total plays run, and had 6 times as many first downs. The strategy clearly... Aaron Rodgers can't beat us if he doesn't have the ball. That was the strategy. That must have been so frustrating for Aaron and that side. I can't imagine. But then to actually pull off that game plan, it's all cute and nice and said and done. The fact that you can do that without the guy to do that, and Christian McCaffrey, is unreal. This was a Shanahan masterclass. He loves tormenting his former proteges. We talked to George Kittle about it. It'll be great to see Kyle Shanahan unleashed against Saleh, who he knows in and out. What a chess match that'll be. Wasn't much of a chess match, if you asked me. Shanahan's won 9 of 10 with his starters against McVay. 3-0 in the playoffs against LaFleur, and now he does this to Saleh? That's a woof. That is a woof for everybody else. And you got to give credit to Jordan Mason, star of the morning here, 3rd year back out of Georgia Tech. Most carries of any 49ers running back in Kyle Shanahan's entire tenure. He held that thing. Every time I looked up, 28 times, 147 yards, and a score. We saw Debo back there a bunch too. Hamilton and I were texting each other like, is this new? Is this what's going to happen here? He tied a career high with 8 carries. We talk about the Niners and their skill players and star power a lot, but this win, shout out to Kyle Juszczyk too, this was about physicality. And to do that to a Jets team and a Jets defense that boasts itself, that prides itself on toughness, that is an FU. That is about as big of an FU as you can give. It is clearly, I don't know, they're ready to go. There's no distractions, loose end, Super Bowl hangover. Give me a break. Who's beating them in the NFC? I want to know. Tell me who's beating them in the NFC. At Up and Adam Show. Hit me up. You're watching on MSG Network. You're watching on YouTube, on FanDuel TV. You're watching later on Max. You're watching later on True TV. Who's beating the Niners? I want to hear from you. Down the stretch, of course, to take their spot to play the Chiefs in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. At least that's what it looks like now. Okay, that being said, the McCaffrey thing. Let's get into this. I've been up there twice in the last month, okay? What I'm feeling is he's clearly not 100%. Was a scratch yesterday. We had the whole Mason Shanahan thing with the podium. When is he playing? Whatever. Let's listen to Kyle and what he said when he was asked if there were any concerns about the injury long term.
It's been lingering the last few weeks, but it's getting better and better, and hopefully it'll be better next week.
There was a report that Christian probably wouldn't play against Minnesota just because it's a short weekend on turf. You're saying?
I'm saying it's amazing. That person must be God, because we just found out he wasn't playing today, and I have no idea how he's going to feel tomorrow or the next day. I thought he was playing this whole week until today, so I don't know. Who knows that he's not playing next week.
This has the potential, I hate the word linger. Shout out to the Cranberries, excellent song from the 90s. Not when it comes to leg injuries with my running backs. Hamilton, I hope Kyle and company, and they will, I'm sure, play this really conservatively, right? This is a game changer. This is who gets you that Lombardi. So we'll see what it's like over the next few weeks. The thing I don't love is that I feel like it keeps changing. Like, I don't know if you've tracked it, but like, you know, like back in the day, I used to like do the Roto World blurbs, and you'd see like exactly what was going on. And I feel like it's gone from like a calf to an ankle. I mean, it's like the hip bone's connected to the femur bone. Like, it's sort of been all over the place, and I hate that. I hate that.
Yeah, the word Achilles was connected to it yesterday, which obviously is super scary. And it went from this, oh, we're holding him out, you know, the reports coming out of camp was precautionary. We're holding him out just out of caution. He'll be ready for week 1. That was kind of the vibe all along. And for this to happen kind of last minute yesterday is concerning.
Yeah, I don't like the jumping around from what it is, and that becomes a bit of a game. And if you're tracking that, that's not good. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it doesn't linger, but I do hope they wait. Don't rush him back. No need to do that. Clearly, as Mason is the All-Pro of 2024 so far, move over Saquon. He can. I mean, that's the genius of Shanahan, right? Like he makes it work. Everyone was geeking out and just like completely losing their mind over Shanahan's ability to use these guys the way that he did yesterday to keep it going and put my poor Aaron Rodgers on ice. Can't wait to talk to Devontae Adams about that. And let's get to this Jet side. And of course, if you don't have Christian available to you, we'll help you on waivers with fantasy stuff later on in the show. As for the Jets side of this, I'm not panicking, not even a little bit, because I think there's a lot of good to take from this, a lot of positivity, a lot to be grateful for. I think the Niners are just great, and that's the team to beat, and I don't know who's going to beat them. Aaron, what did he show us last night when we got to see him? He can still sling it. Okay, AR, we love that. He lays some absolute beauties in there, okay? Not that I had any doubts. I really didn't. He actually, you know, to see him make throws like this, to see his face have that Aaron Rodgers face, him getting hit a little bit, I'm sure he thinks he was barely touched, I'm sure. Especially after seeing what Kirk Cousins, right, in stark comparison, looked like week 1 coming off his Achilles. Let's listen to Aaron after the game.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff's correctable, which is great for coaches. It's frustrating for players because we know how close we were/are, but no time for that. We're going to move on to Tennessee quickly, and then we got a game 4 days after that. So this is a tough opener for us, travel-wise and schedule-wise, but no excuses. We got to play better. I got to play better, and you know, we'll bounce back next week.
I like that he's positive. I like that when Tyrod was in, he was there cheering and all of that. He mentioned coaching there. By the way, great jacket, great look on that, Aaron Rodgers. My biggest question was coaching during this offseason when I was there. Well, tell me about Saleh. Tell me about this, because the talent we know is there. The talent alone isn't going to get them where they want to go. It's a very competitive AFC, as we all know, and it's hard to be inspired coaching-wise by what we saw last night. That's just the truth. Beyond the coaching, if you're Hassan Reddick, I kept thinking that while I was tweeting about Val Kilmer with y'all last night. I was thinking, if you're Hassan watching this game, are you just like, life is good? This is the best leverage he's had yet, people. Not great for the Jet side of things as far as that's concerned. And as good as the defense is, and as many stars as they have, blatantly clear as day, that they need help on that front and up front. So if I'm Joe Douglas, if you got to get this deal done today, or it is panic mode after watching that last night and Mason do his thing and everybody do their thing. A lot to work on for the Jets, a lot to build off, but to be, you know, a Jets fan that's in the dumps at all this morning, absolutely not. I'm not going to stand for it. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for watching. You can subscribe right here to get the latest from the show and check out more of the best clips from Up and Adams, or go watch a few segments from other shows on FanDuel.